Welcome to Guide to Survive. The world is a big, beautiful place, full of incredible and breathtaking sights and experiences. It's also doing everything it can to kill you, and so that's where this program fits in. Before you venture into the great outdoors, you need to learn about all of the terrifying and mystical creatures that lurk in the woods, knock on your window, and hide in your toilet. With this guide, you'll learn how to identify a would-be assailant, analyze its strengths and weaknesses, and deal with it effectively. By the end of your training, you'll be ready to take on any creep or cryptid that crosses your path. So here's to you, and the great adventure that lies ahead. Let's begin.
Target analysis. Name: Valravn, Raven of the Slain. Class: Cryptid, Magical Beast. Habitat: Denmark. Lifespan: Unknown. Strengths: Enhanced Intelligence, Strength and Speed, Shapeshifting, and Supernatural Abilities. Weaknesses: Firearms, ants, and possibly sunlight. Overall threat level: 7. Behavior: Valravn. These dark and supernatural ravens have long scoured the skies of Denmark. They are said to have mystical powers, yet because they use these powers for malevolent purposes, the Valravn are judged as terrible animals. Strong words, I know. However, you'll soon understand that they've more than earned such devastating criticism. Firstly, you may be interested to know that a Valravn does not begin life as a paranormal creature, but rather as a common raven. Legends tell that a king or great person had fallen in battle and was left to decay without proper burial rites, and the ravens came to devour his corpse. It is these ravens that ate the heart of this dead monarch that changed, gaining the knowledge of humans, supernatural abilities, and a desire for malicious intent, thus earning themselves the most badass name I've ever heard: Valravn, also known as Raven of the Slain. Nice. As to the otherworldly abilities, not all are specified, which isn't very handy when you're working on a guide to survive them. Thanks, Denmark. Anyway, the powers we do know of suggest that a Valravn is able to lead people astray, perhaps through some sort of telepathy, magical curses, or vocal coercion, which controls their victim and takes them off of their path. Further to the speculation surrounding the superhuman abilities of these creatures, while magic is certainly considered to fall under the rank of superhuman, this detail could propose something more physical, such as strength and speed. Additional accounts have stated that Valravn have a monstrous form, appearing as both half-wolf and raven. This may well be one of the shape-shifting powers these creatures have, which we will cover more later. Regardless, this creature is supposed to be quite the formidable opponent, and so caution is advised when confronting one face to face. Though as with most things, I find that a strong, unyielding expenditure of ammunition eventually wears even the most hardy of supernatural opponents into a fine stain on the floor. Lastly, a Valravn's ability to shapeshift. Further to the legend of the Valravn, it is alleged that these creatures are often in search of redemption. Lacking peace in their existence, they seek to find a way of breaking their seemingly cursed cycle. A quick warning, any feelings of empathy you may now be experiencing for these birds is about to fly right out the window. This particular part of the Valravn's tale is detailed in a Danish folk song, where a young maiden offers riches to a Valravn to reunite her with her beloved. However, the Valravn refuses the offer of wealth. Instead, her firstborn son is to be the raven's reward for its service. Years later, the wicked bird returns, takes the baby, and consumes his blood. Yep, suddenly assaulting one with heavy gunfire doesn't sound so bad, now does it? From this act, the Valravn is granted new powers, as it is able to alter its form into that of a knight. Why a knight? We're not sure. Perhaps this was the future the baby boy had before him, now seized by the Valravn. Curiously, a Valravn will not fly by day, preferring the cover of night. It's all seeming a bit vampiric, isn't it? Yet we have no further reason for why these birds avoid sunlight. It could well be an aspect of its existence as a malevolent creature, weakened by the light of the sun, or at least some way negatively affected by the luminescence of day. Whatever the reason, while the sun is high, you can walk with confidence in relative safety. An additional trait of the Valravn could well be ants, specifically anting. Anting, to those of you who don't know, is a form of bodily maintenance for numerous birds, including ravens. The birds will roll around in an ant's nest, or amongst other insects, rubbing the critters onto their feathers and skin. This action performs numerous functions such as feather grooming, food preparation, etc. Though quite frankly, I could think of better ways to relax. Overall, the Valravn are truly wicked creatures. While beginning life innocently enough, it only took giving in to their natural urges to feed, albeit on the wrong corpse, that would lead to their powerful and malevolent fate. These ravens are nasty tricksters, scouring the night sky for victims to torment. You must never make a deal with them, never interact in any way beyond self-defense. They are clever, strong, fast, and malicious. Their cruel sights always set on whoever is unfortunate enough to stumble into view. Stratagem. So, here's the scenario. While on an archaeological expedition, funded by JAR 19 Labs, to search for an item of classified origins, you don't have to worry about it, you hear a strange call pierce the air around you. Then, out of nowhere, a raven appears, and what's more, it begins talking at you, in Danish. Strange occurrences begin to happen the more the bird speaks, as if it's casting malicious spells at you. Well, knowing the slight inconvenience your death by raven would cause your old friend Jar, you know you must fight back. Your plan of attack. Firstly, skeet shooting. Should the Valravn take the knight or wolf form, and you're the take no prisoners sort, and if you're armed, then I would strongly advise blasting that bloody bird right out of existence. Secondly, false promises. If the Valravn has remained in its bird form, then you shall have to rely more on tact than brute force, or firepower. Lure the Valravn down by asking for a favour, offering your firstborn as a reward. If it doesn't accept, try shooting it again. But if it agrees, make your escape and begin your long-term plan to capture or kill the Valravn when it comes to collect. Note, you don't actually need to have children to follow through with this plan. I'm all for giving something 110%, but let's not go procreating just because you made a deal with a magic bird in Denmark. Thirdly, ant plan. If you can, locate some ants. This will encourage the Valravn to perform the activity of anting. Then, while it's euphorically rubbing itself with ants, catch it and don't let go. Fourthly, bird cage. Now that you've got the little bastard, wrap up its beak to keep it from leading you astray, then shove it into a makeshift bird cage. Sticks and string will do, and lock it up. Fifthly, extraordinary work. Bring it back to the lab, will you? I'll have it stuffed. Pop quiz. Question number 1. Are Valravn supernatural from birth? Answer: no. A Valravn is born as a common raven and becomes supernatural from eating the heart of a dead and unburied king or great person. Question number 2. Is it true that the Valravn are nocturnal? Answer: yes. Valravn will avoid the light of day, preferring the cover of night. Question number 3. Can a Valravn understand human speech? Answer: yes. Valravn both understand and speak in human language. Question number 4. Is it wise to trust a Valravn? Answer: no. These are malicious creatures and should not be trusted. Question number 5. Are Valravn unique to Denmark? Answer: yes. The Valravn are a uniquely Danish cryptid. If you scored 0 to 1, then you're now another victims of the Ravens of the Slain. If you scored 2 to 3, then you might be alive, but your ornithological studies have come to an end. And if you scored 4 to 5, incredible work. You're like Odin, only far less impressive. Conclusion. Excellent work. I'd say you're ready to get out there and face whatever challenges plot against you. And if you're not, then don't worry. You can re-watch these survival guides as much as you like. And they're non-refundable. I'm very proud of the progress you've made, and I know you're going to take the future in your stride. I've got a good feeling about you, Edgar Allan Poe. Good luck, and don't die.